Alright, hello, welcome back to another video. A change of scenery, a much needed change of scenery, I would say. I've been cooped up in my room recording videos for the last 2 weeks. Obviously, getting a lot of love from all of you. Is this a good angle? Let me. I think that's better. It's a little heightened. So yeah, I've been cooped up in my room making videos for the last 2-3 weeks, but getting a lot of love and support from all of you. It's because of consistency and good content. So a really big thank you. Also, a lot of you haven't subscribed yet. So if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, it takes a second and it motivates me a lot to create more and more content. Right now, I'm here at Glenelg Beach, which is one of the most prettiest, one of the most popular, and one of the most well-renowned beaches here in Adelaide, South Australia. A little bit about me: if you're new to the channel, my name is Anshul, and I've been in Adelaide, South Australia altogether for just over 3 years now. Finished my bachelor's in business marketing, and I'm now working full time in marketing as well. Hence, you can't see, but I'm in my office clothes. Just literally changed my shirt, came here to Glenelg, watched the sunset. And I'm now creating a video here basically. So that's one thing that I really love about Australia, just the connectivity. You finish work, 15-minute drive, go to Glenelg, watch the sunset, have ice cream, chill with your friends. Yeah, nothing can beat that. But this video is about how I got here, not here as in Australia, but how did I get here to Glenelg Beach. I drove here, and that's what this video is about. This video is all about license. Can international students drive in Australia? How long can international students drive in Australia for on their on their home license, on their international license? Do they have to get it converted to an Aussie license? What is the process like? So this video will be broken down into two segments. One where I'll talk about the first segment, which is for people who already have a license from their home country. I'll tell them about how long can they drive in different states for, what do they have to do, and what do they have to do to convert their license into an Aussie license if they want to, and when do they have to get it done. Second video is for those people who move here maybe at 17, 18, or even at an older age, but didn't get the time to create or go for a license or go for a driving test in their country, in their state, whatever. First step done. Now that you have a license in English, or an English version of your license, now how long can you drive in Australia on your license from your home country? First segment is for everybody who has a license, who has a current license from their home country. One thing, I'll break it down from state to state, yeah? Except Northern Territory, where you can... Okay, let me track back. First thing, your license needs to be in English. If your license is not in English, you need to carry an official English translated transcript or a version of your license from your transport organizations from your home country. In India, it's RTO. Generally, my license is in English. Our licenses are generally in English. So we are all good. We don't need to carry an international driving permit. We don't need to carry an English translation for it. But for those people whose licenses maybe are in their home language, maybe in their mother tongue, you have to carry an English translation with you or an international driving permit with you. First, let's talk about states where you can only drive for a definite amount of time. Now, anybody who's coming to Melbourne, you can only drive on your home license for 6 months. After your 6 months are completed, you need to convert your license to an Aussie license. How do you do that? I'll get there. For people who are coming to Sydney, it's the same for you. You can also only drive for 6 months. On their website, it says 3 to 6 months, but I'd say 6 months on your home license. And after your 6 months are up, you have to convert it to an Aussie license, if you want to, obviously. People who are going to Northern Territory, that time limit is reduced to 3 months. So as soon as your 3 months are up, you need to get your license converted to an Aussie license. Now, anybody who is going to any other state, any other city, be that Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, wherever, you can drive on your home license for an indefinite amount of time. There is no need, there is no legality for you to convert it. Now you may want to convert it, maybe because you want to do Uber X or any other jobs which require an Australian license, but generally our license from our home country, obviously if you're in South Australia, Adelaide, Perth, all the locations that I just mentioned, there's, from a legal perspective, you don't need to convert your license. You can drive for an indefinite amount of time on your home license. Now, when will there be a need to convert your license to an Australian license? One, if your work demands it, if your work demands an Australian license. Second, if you're doing Uber X, what you need to do is you need to convert your license into an Australian license. Drive on your Australian license for 6 months, and only then you can sign up for Uber X. When I talk about Uber Eats, you can do Uber Eats on your home license as well. Now, coming on to when students in cities like Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, etc. need to convert their licenses, when you get your permanent residency. And after that as well, you get a certain amount, I think it's 3 or 6 months, where you get from the Australian government to convert your home license into an Aussie license, because now you're officially a permanent resident, soon to be a citizen if you choose to do so. Coming on to how do you convert your home license into an Australian license. This goes for everyone. Some steps might be different depending on states, depending on different cities, but irrespective of you being in Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, wherever, first step is for you to give an online test, which is like a module test. Those that you can skip and give the correct answers at the end. That will cost you around $35 to $45. So you go to Service SA, Service NSW, Service Victoria, wherever. Tell them that you want to convert your home license into an Aussie license. They'll register you for that test. You give that test. Once that first step is completed, second and third step can be done together. Second step can be done first. Third step can be done first, either or. What are the steps? Second steps is a perception hazard test. For this as well, you need to go into the center and give a perception hazard test. It's really simple. You can look at videos on YouTube. Third test is the most difficult one, which is the actual driving test. Here in Australia, it's a point system out of 100. For you to actually appear for that driving test and actually pass it, I'll recommend that you get into some classes. There are a lot of organizations here that offer private classes, private driving classes. There are a lot of tutors on Facebook Marketplace that you can reach out to and book sessions with them as cheap as $50 to $60 an hour, where they'll take you around the loop that you have to give the test on. So it's basically driving with that instructor 2 to 3 times on the loop that you're going to give the test on, and then you basically give the test on the same loop. But what that person will do is that the person will calculate your points, will tell you what to do, will tell you what not to do, because it's not like for me, it's not like driving in India. If I have to take a right, I have to give an indicator. Before giving an indicator, I need to check my side view mirror, my rear mirror, see if there's nobody in the blind spot, and only then give the indicator. So there are a lot of rules, there are a lot of steps, there's a procedure that you need to follow before even taking a left, even taking a right, even taking a U-turn. So those simple things that if you don't do, your marks will be deducted in the actual test, and the actual tests are pretty expensive. So that is what generally people follow. Anticipate to spend around $700 to $850 for the whole process. So for converting your home license to an Aussie license. Second segment of the video for people who don't come to Australia with their license. Now you'll have to follow the Aussie method of getting a license. It's a little prolonged, so my top tip would be, if you're moving at 18 or after 18, please get your license with you. It'll make the process way more easier for you. But if you don't get the opportunity to, what you need to do is you need to follow the Aussie license. Now, I think I'll keep putting things here where you first have to get on L's, where I'll actually put my laptop on. First is a learner's permit, where your minimum age has to be 16 or 15 years and 9 months if you're going to ACT. the requirements to get your learner's permit, your L sign, is that you need to pass a knowledge test on road rules and sometimes an eye test, which is fairly simple, is what I've come to know. But if you're on your L's, as they say here in Australia, you must always drive with a fully licensed supervisor. Who is a fully licensed supervisor? A person who has a full Australian license needs to always be with you while you're driving. Second, you need to display an L sign on the back of your car or on the front of your car. And there are some speed restrictions that you need to follow, which apply in some states. Second step is what they call your P's. Now there are two things to it, P1 and P2. P1 is when the minimum age for P1 is 17 years, where you have to complete a minimum number of hours with a supervised driver that I just told you about. These hours generally change, but they are generally 120 hours, with 20 of them being in the night, and you have to create and maintain a logbook for this. For an international student, sometimes it can get hard because you're new here. You might not know someone who has a full Aussie license. So, you have to, obviously make friends. You will make friends, but then you have to drive 120 hours with that person to then get to your from your L to P1s. For you to get your P1s, you need to pass a hazard perception test that I previously mentioned, and also pass a practical driving test that I also mentioned beforehand. Another thing on this is that, again, speed restrictions apply. You can't drink and drive. Here, generally, people who are on their full license can drive after drinking one beer or one standard drink, but you can't do that if you're on your P1s. And you also can't use your mobile phone, obviously. Then you go on to P2s, which for the minimum age would be 18. And the requirements to get that is passing a hazard perception test. If you haven't already, you need to display P plates either on your windshield or on your back shield. It has fewer restrictions when it comes to speeds and stuff, but you need to generally stay on your P2s for a good 2 years for you to then get your full unrestricted license. And for this as well, you need to pass a final qualification driver test, which is different to what you did before. So that is a little bit about driving restrictions, how you can get an Aussie license, whether do you have to get an Aussie license or not, how long can you drive on your home license, and how to go about it. If you have any questions, put it down in the comments below, or if you have any questions about this or anything else, reach out either here and I'll be happy to help you out. I'll see you in the next one.